Hi, this is Zach, and I'm going to show you how to use the elevation generator in Revit. So the elevation generator is up here under the drafting tab, and we move that over. And it's a dockable window, so you can dock it with your Revit, but I'm going to kind of leave it floating here. Yeah, I'll dock it over here. There we go. All right, so the way this works is you import elements from either your model or a linked model, an elevation, some kind of reference, usually an architectural elevation or something from sales or something you draw yourself. And then once you get it in there, you can apply different mullions to the different elements and then re-export it back into Revit as a unitized wall. So I'm starting here with a linked model of the architecturals. And the way they did these walls are as one giant curtain wall, but no nested units inside of it. They're just mullions. It's as if it's a stick. So I'm going to use the elevation generator to convert it into units. So I'll start by importing a linked element because the wall that I want to start with is in a linked model. And then I'll select this wall here. And once it comes over, you can see it in this model. And you can zoom extents by double clicking the middle mouse button, just like you would in Revit. So the first thing I have here is that I want to set is the faces system. And the faces system has two sides. There's this kind of sunny yellow side and this darker side, which is the represents the interior. And the sunny side represents the exterior. So right now, this came out with the exterior side pointing in the correct direction, so I don't need to change it. But if I did, I would select it here and tell it to flip exterior. I can also shift the faces system in and out from where where this model has it to produce our model. Oftentimes, the faces system will be different between the architectural model or the sales model and the model that we want in operations. So this is where you can shift the whole faces system in and out. I'm going to shift this out maybe 2 feet just so that we could see that in effect once we finish this elevation. All right, so the next thing is I want to assign these to mullions. So when I select one of these, it will show me the properties of that item, and I can change which mullions this element will become when it exports it back to Revit. I have a few mullions here already, but these aren't the ones that are in this project, so I'm going to load them by going over to Import Mullion Types. This will import all the mullion resources that's in this file so that they appear in this list here. So the next thing I want to do is just do a few of these. I'll select, let's start with a sill here. And the sill, if I wanted to move the sill up and down, I can change this number here. But I'm going to just assign it some mullion resources. So we'll go with this wind load sill here. And see how it popped out? That's because the faces system of my new model is going to be 2 feet in front of the faces system of the original model. And then I'll add a caulk joint to the bottom, or a sill track actually, like that. And you can see the sill track is black here. Let's do a few more of these. Let's do the horizontal. We'll just use this one. This can be the same horizontal. Same horizontal. Up here, I'm going to make this a stack joint. So I have to tell it that this mullion is going to be between units. It defines the boundary of my units. So I'll check that, and now I can choose which mullion is on the top and which one's on the bottom. So I'll use my stack joint sill, as the top part. Let me make this a little bigger. And I'll use my head member there. Once I've established both of those, it becomes a gray mullion. All the ones that are straight from the architect's model are still red, and all the ones that I've done now are going to be in gray. Let's do some more of these. I can select multiples by using windowing techniques like this. I'll get all those horizontals like that. And then my mullion segments, I can, these little buttons here will allow me to filter my selection. So right now I have both infills, the glass, and mullion segments. If I click on mullion segments, I'm going to keep the mullion segments. And then right now I have head and horizontals, and I just want the horizontals. So I'll click horizontal. Now all I have selected are the horizontals, and I can set them all to this S2102, just like that. I probably want a few more stack joints in here, so let's take this one here, and I'm going to say that one's in between units, and let's set it to the stack joint that the same one that I did before. And I'll do this one too. So that's between units. And yeah, let's just windload it. And then at the head, I'm not sure what I would have at my head, but I'm just going to put a unit head for now. Because this is a border, I could put a caulk joint as well, but I'm going to skip that. So that's most of my horizontals, at least one horizontal on every level. Let's look over here. So there's a little funny something going on here because of the way the architect made this model. If I click here, you'll see I got a vertical where I was kind of expecting a right jam. If I get this thing, this is the right jam. So the architect, for whatever reason, maybe probably by accident, put a vertical line on top of their jam. So now there's two mullions on top of each other. This will produce, because they're so close together, this will also produce a secondary, a bunch of small horizontal lines as well in between the vertical and the jam. So I could see all those if I click on this. This shows me all the deleted elements. And right now you can see all of these tiny little pieces of sill and of horizontal that run between the vertical that I found and the right jam. So I don't want these to be deleted. I actually want these in my final model because they carry the horizontal all the way over from the end of the last bay to the jam. So I'm going to select all of them by drawing a big box around them. Grab the mullion segments, and I'm going to right click here and restore these. They'll now be in the main model. So if I switch back to the main model, they're all sitting here. They are shaped differently because in the architect's model, they didn't assign these to any particular mullion. So now I have these. These will carry this sill all the way from where it stops, which is right now the vertical, and then this will continue it to the vertical, from the vertical to the jam. Now I want to delete all my verticals, the duplicated vertical on this in this area. So I'm going to use a window selection there, and I'm just going to grab the verticals. You can see that it's kind of like half highlighted because they're on top of each other. And I'm going to right click and delete those. So now all I have left here is the right jam. I don't have any vertical on top of it, and also my grid line for the horizontals and the sills and the head go from here to where that vertical was, and then this thing will continue it all the way to the jam. I hope that made sense. So now I'm going to assign the mullions for my right jam. So select a box, filter it, and this one I'm going to use this 4113 right side. Again, pops out 2 feet. Probably should have put in a caulk joint in there. And normally I'd be looking at the architectural models to figure out what I want to actually do on each of these, or the profiles. But I'm just kind of picking things right now. For my verticals, I want all of them to be in between units, and I'm going to set the left and right mullions to be these two. It's a captured pair, like that. And then for my left jam, I'm going to make it a corner. So select all of them and use 5106. Now, the elevation generator doesn't show these at the angle that they would be in the final Revit model, but that's going to be fine for this. It will be angled once it gets into Revit. So now I've done some kind of representative mullion swaps. I'm going to save this as a system. So I'll go here to Systems and hit Save, and then I can give it a new name. We'll call it Demo System 1, and it is unitized. Hit OK. And now if I go here to Systems and I go down to Apply, my Demo System 1 is here, and it will apply the mullion swaps that I did to all the mullions on this wall, with the exception of probably these tiny little ones here, and any other weird mistakes that are in the architect's model. Like this one here, the architect used 2.5 by 7.5 rectangular B mullion, whereas everywhere else on the head they used, oh, looks like the same one. There must be some difference there. Whatever it is, I can do this one manually. 3119, like that. And then I have all these little mullions here on the side. Those I will highlight like this, and I'll make them all the same as the horizontal for now. And then I'll fix the individual ones here to match the sill. There's no match properties in this yet, so unfortunately I can't use that. And then I'll also have to do each of these stack joints, which will be kind of difficult. But I have to make sure that I complete the frame. It's gonna cause a bug if I don't. All right, so all my stack joints are swapped now. I cut the video a bit just to do all that work. And now I can export this into the Revit model. So to do that, I hit the export button here. And it'll take a second. All right, it finished exporting, and now you can see that I have a wall that I just created. It's unitized, so I can select the units like that. And it matches, and it's the 2 feet in front of the original wall that I had before. From here, I can just use my normal Revit techniques to manipulate it. But that was a way that we could create, using the elevation generator, create a unitized wall from an original wall that wasn't unitized at all. Thank you very much.